like, like Ben the bear is your best friend, and you just don't want to see anything, happen to these people that they're not people, but they become part of your family, and you just don't want to see anything happen to the woods or the the animals around you. And I think that's in a lot of ways is a very, very personal thing, that once we started to civilize, quote unquote, civilize ourselves and live in cities and things like that, that we've lost a lot of that, so I don't know. I'll let you answer I'll let you do the rest there, Anne Marie. But I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for letting me call in, and you guys, God bless you both, and I'll see you soon, Gary.
Okay, sir. You take care.
Okay.
Thanks so much. What a great input you gave.
And no tin foil on your hat when you go to that convention. Yes. I don't want any negative vibes coming back to the show. I mean, you can use saran wrap, okay? Fine. No tin foil, okay? You got it?
All right, brother.
Okay.
We'll see you soon.
Take care, guy.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah. Saran wrap's okay. But anyway, no, I felt really connected, to when, like I said, I can be down, depressed, whatever. I really feel connected to my little forest. That's what we call it. We call it a little mini forest, and I feel really like it's part of my family.
Absolutely. And again, really acknowledging that, because not everybody gets that. In this human form, we're swayed by, again, the monetary value that a natural resource has. I'm so fortunate to live, on a large parcel of land where we're the guardians, and then we're up against millions of acres of national forest. So I get it. For me, like, that's my battery bank right there. That's talking to me. And, kudos to you for listening and weighing in, because we do, in this human embodiment, we have to move between this duality of paying the bills and moving forward. And how do we do this in harmonics with the land and with the animals and with the water, and in a way that's honorable, to the natural realm and to us in our human progression. So we just have to look at it a different way. The answer's there. It's not an either or, it's a both and we just have to position ourselves in a different way to see that, and to see value in a different way other than dollars and cents.
Well, I think what's happening in society has changed so much. Everybody's this, when I was a kid, I knew the neighbors. My parents knew all the neighbors. They lived in Seattle, but they knew everybody down the whole block. I mean, by the name. We'd have barbecues together. Somebody passed on, we'd have a wake, all that stuff. People don't care anymore. They have lost all that. The interconnection with people, wildlife, just, connecting is gone. People don't connect anymore. Nobody knows anybody anymore.
Well, and when you look at that from our global perspective, because we've opened our hearts so many times and we've been hurt, whether it's giving our all to an employer that then sells us down the river, whether it's giving our allegiance to a state or a nation that then, again, sells us down the river and poisons us. Oh, my goodness, my Great Dane is getting in on this conversation. Well, no matter what it might be, we've gotten a little bit jaded. We feel like we're in this alone. And this is, you're so guided in your listening here, because this is the crux of the importance with connecting with the natural world, is they realize that we are feeling lost, we're feeling disconnected, and they want us to connect in and realize that there's so many more options that are there for us than what the mass media presents to us. And this is that part that I really feel is going to resonate with your folks, is there's more going on than what meets the eye, And when we lean into that, we create new possibilities and we activate things within our humanness, within our physical body, within our energetic body that creates new possibilities. And again, we don't need everyone to go out and hug trees, but we do need a critical mass of people to feel their connection with the natural realm and to go into action, because when we love something, we act very differently in the way that we move through our lives and the way that we protect that than when we feel disconnected from something and we think, yeah, sure, I can make some bucks off that. Let's do that.
Yeah. What do you get out of it in return? Look what's going on right now. I mean, coal. They're gonna allow. They take the restrictions off of that. They have taken more restriction off about for cutting trees down. All the stuff that they know down the road. It creates jobs right now. Correct.
And not many, but yes, that's what they're saying.
yeah, very little compared to what really happens. But you know what's going to end up happening is we are messing our next generation up, where they're not going to have, this beautiful acreage of trees and clean, pristine water, lakes and streams. I mean, we do all this stuff. I mean, face it, we're going through an earth change, and a lot of people are still denying it, and I classify them as the same people, no offense, people that believe the world is flat. I mean, I know from like Mary Joyce, she runs a bulletin board website out of North Carolina. She keeps track of things, what's happening with our magnetic field, the earth wobbling. And yeah, the earth is wobbling. A lot of people don't, believe that. I'm getting people saying, no, the earth is not wobbling. I said that earlier. And yes, we got a slight wobble to it. And there's a lot of reasons why. But I'm really worried that we need to, get more back to nature, and express love and all that stuff, which a lot of people don't. And, the tree thing, I do believe that we can communicate with the whole planet, because it's a network. And
absolutely.
And we're not doing it. People are so obsessed with one thing, money and themselves.
Yep. And that's the thing, when we connect with nature, we begin to see that we're a part of something bigger. And so we get called, that nurturing part of us, whether we're male or female, gets engaged, and it wants to stand for that. And that's what's happening, where people are going off grid. They may not even understand it within their own energetic field, but they're feeling this call back to the natural way, back to the simple ways, because we've complicated things so much. And so, again, it doesn't take everyone in the world to have this realization. It takes a very small critical mass to realize, hey, there's a different way for us to be in relationship with the world, and it doesn't require us to build a big dome over the earth to protect us from the elements. The earth is crazy resilient, and we're still at a point. All of the predictions are going all over the place. It's going to get really hot. It's going to get really cold. Who knows? But our human impact is making a difference. Yes, the earth goes through natural cycles all on its own, but we are definitely making an impact, and we need to pay attention to what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how we can live in a different way, realizing that there are these amazing sentient beings out here with so much wisdom and so much understanding of the human condition, and they're so invested in us regardless of the ridiculousness that we've done. It really is like our parents and our grandparents who love us no matter what nonsense we do, no matter what color we dye our hair or anything, and they're just calling us back to remember. It's not to scold us, it's to remember who we truly be, because this modern society limits us so much and works to enslave us, and we're being called to freedom. And freedom is through understanding energy and your part and your connection to the greater.
Well, we need to connect back, because, if anything ever happened, if our grid went down, I mean, how many people would die within a month?
Right.
I mean, people couldn't even take care of themselves because they lost everything to nature. I mean, they couldn't farm. They wouldn't know how to, anything. grow food. It's scary, and people need to connect. People need to connect with nature, and I think if more people connected with nature and Mother Earth, we're just not pumping oil from the ground. We're pumping blood. That's how I look at it, and we're destroying ourselves. And global warming. A lot of people say it's a farce. Well, all I can tell you from my experiences. I'm 66 years old. I lived where I'm at now for 20 years. Every winter, my fish pond would freeze up solid for a good month and a half. And my poor little goldfish would be, like frozen in the air. We make a bet, like, well, are they going to come back to life or not? Which they always did. But the interesting thing is, started 2 years ago, the pond would only get a little thin layer of ice for a couple of days, and then it would melt. This past winter, guess what? No ice. And I have to go up a big flight of stairs from where we park going into the house. It always would ice up, So last year I figured I'm going to put sand in the paint and painted I didn't need it because no ice this past winter. And things are changing. I mean, I'm looking at my trees. I hate to say it, my cedar trees don't even look healthy anymore. I was telling my wife that the other day. They're getting a brown tint to all of them around here. And I think it's things we all the pollution and everything else is going on. We're killing ourselves. And not just killing us, we're killing nature. We're killing the planet.
Absolutely. And, I absolutely am a realist. And I look at the science. And I also work in that realm of magic and that realm of possibilities. And so this is a great place to talk about what can we do? Like, we know we can connect with the trees and get this infinite wisdom and connect to our intuitive abilities and unpack our intuitive backpack. But what I love about, my tribe is they always ask, but what can I do for the trees? The trees are really struggling this planet. Everything you just said points to, the natural world is struggling. And the beauty about when we connect with trees, again, there was this whole thing that the Bible co-opted, and I'm not speaking ill of it, but I'm saying our interpretation was a little bit off. We talked about wherever there are two or more gathered, that it creates this resonance field, and it creates this amplification of the intentions that are set out there. Well, the Bible can tend to be a little bit misogynistic and a little bit humanist in terms of only humans and male humans have this ability, but that's not what the original intent was. It was any being with life force energy flowing through it. So when I connect with the trees, when I connect with the rocks, when I connect with the animals, I am creating a resonance field and amplification of my intentions. And so I can work with nature, and I can receive what I need, and nature can receive what it needs. We have a lot of areas on this planet where nature is in peril, and it needs our help.
Well, maybe it's time we repay our planet. The planet has done a lot. Let's face it, we wouldn't be, driving to work. We wouldn't have that, a glass of milk and cookies at night, and we wouldn't even be able to watch TV if it wasn't for our Mother Earth. It's about time we start giving back to our planet. Hey, our time is almost up. I want you to promote your website. Whatever you do, you got like 3 minutes. Go ahead and plug it.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, first of all, huge gratitude for you for creating this platform for us to have these conversations that aren't necessarily happening everywhere, and we're feeling connected. People can connect with me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/animals as messengers. Of course, I go deeper than the animals. My website is intentiontraining.com. When you go to that page, intentiontraining.com, you'll find my free gift, which is the top 5 ways to connect with animals and nature. It's an audio and a PDF. You'll get that information immediately, and it will also put you on my mailing list, which lets you know what I'm doing in terms of courses, what I'm doing in terms of live appearances, all of those places. And I do a lot of live readings, which we didn't even get into tonight, but I do that on a lot of these appearances. So definitely check out my website, intentiontraining.com. You can also email me at Anna Maria, ANAMARIA, at intentiontraining.com. Again, Gary, thank you so much for creating this platform that we can have these conversations. No matter where we land on it, they stir us on a certain level. And I get that, and I appreciate that so much.
Well, I do appreciate you coming on the show, and I will connect to you here in the next few days with Kevin, and